We looked up how much money these people get made. It's a few $100,000, and it's a few $100,000 too much because they're idiots. The new rules will apply to the entire online platform economy, which include world giants as well as very small startups. Bring on the rules. I'm already a tech monopoly. What do I care? Create rules. I probably paid my lobbyists to help inform you bozos about what rules to put in place in the first place. So we covered this on the show from the Palm Beach studio. I missed the Palm Beach studio. Here's the little snippet on what we spoke about with the EU trying to create, an EU tech economy. And this is what they've done to it. That's what we're going to talk about. Here's their attempt at doing that. Europe's had basically a lost generation because they don't really have a tech community with the amount of regulation that the EU has created. What you're now doing is you're hurting the tech unicorns, the tech startups that need to also comply with these laws. It's a great premise. Hey, we need to have our own tech community in Europe. Yeah, you're right. I would say we probably have some of the best viewers and audience members out of any show. I mean, look, this video has 50 views. We have 10 comments, and these are all high quality comments. People are talking about different perspectives about Europe and Silicon Valley VC-backed startups and what's going on. I mean, look at this. It's actually amazing. So, this is why we do it. It's for all of you. So I'm glad that, there's conversation going on here on these topics. This clearly has struck a chord with some of the folks watching. So in this clip, what we talk about is that EU has regulated. It's just so ironic. Like, they regulate the hell out of their environment, yet they say they want to build an EU tech ecosystem, and then they continue to pass all these crazy laws that apply to everyone, and then they kill whatever kind of like flame of tech community they have, right? Yeah. And I honestly, full disclosure, I didn't read this release. I didn't even get more than 3 paragraphs in. And I don't need to read more than 3 paragraphs in. Let's see how long this is. See this? This is all just a waste of my time. That I saved all this time. You want to know why I don't need to read more than 3 paragraphs into this joke of a rule? It's because of this. As part of the digital single market strategy, the new rules will apply to the entire online platform economy. Approximately 7,000 online platforms or marketplaces operating in the EU, which include world giants as well as very small startups. It's so stupid. I don't understand. We looked up how much money these people get made. It's a few $100,000, and it's a few $100,000 too much because they're idiots. It's not difficult to understand that if you're a large tech monopoly, they literally cover it in here. World giants. If you're a world giant, are you going to be able to comply with these rules more easily or less easily than, and they literally have it in here, very small startups? Riddle me that, Miss Vestager, or whoever, Vice President of the Digital Single Market, Andrus Ansip, Bozo. Of course, the large tech monopolies are going to be able to comply. The large tech monopolies are rejoicing at the fact that there's more regulation. This is exactly what we spoke about with GDPR. It helps the large tech monopolies. Bring on the rules. I'm already a tech monopoly. What do I care? Create rules. I probably paid my lobbyists to help inform you bozos about what rules to put in place in the first place. Now I have 1,000 people that can go make sure we're super compliant about this. And I'll have another 200 people that are going to be sending you notices when all of my smaller competitors don't comply.
Right. And I no longer have to worry about buying the next WhatsApp because you just killed the next WhatsApp.
And now the next WhatsApp needs to divert resources. They've got maybe 500 engineers total. They've got to go divert 50 of them to go focus on these rules. I'm not even talking about what's in the rules. I didn't even read what's in the rules. I don't need to read what's in the rules. The whole point is how the EU goes about doing regulation. This isn't about what the regulation is. I think it's a fine direction. You need to protect the producers. We've spoken on the show about how California's AB5 law is completely dumb because the two biggest gripes of producers on these service marketplaces is, can the platform arbitrarily just raise the rate on me and I have no say? And can the platform kick me off or penalize me? And is there any kind of rebuttal process? And that actually seems to be what these rules are trying to get at. They're trying to protect the producer, which is a well-intentioned thing. The problem is how the EU goes about actually implementing these rules, because they say one thing, which is, hey, it would be really nice to have a tech community in Europe. Yeah, it would be really nice to have a tech, but you're not going to get a tech community when you regulate the hell out of all these. Literally, they have very small startups.
Right. What you really should be focused on is the handful of what they call in the finance community systemically important institutions. The concept absolutely would apply in the same way to the big tech monopolies. You could find some kind of metric of market power or concentration, or if you wanted a blunt instrument, revenue threshold, and say, once you reach this,
I think you do it on platform conglomerate status or not.
Anyway, there's multiple ways you could slice it, but you really want to be looking at these regulations on the ones that are
big
monopolies that have market power, and not putting the burden on the 6,950 other or so that are small startups.
6,990. I mean, because what you want for the top 5 or 10 market, you want the number 3, 4, 5 marketplaces to be able to be a few steps ahead, right? And kind of push them and out innovate. And I don't know. It's just a joke. Like, I feel like I'm a broken record. So I kind of feel bad for talking about this yet again on the show. It's just the same theme over and over and over. These guys just clearly don't get it. They say they want this, and then they go do this, right? It's just, ay. You should honestly just leave. If you're one of these very small startups, just call it a day. Come to the US. Your life's going to be way better. We don't have this craziness here. And this stuff's only going to continue. I mean, it's been years that they've been doing this. They clearly haven't learned. I mean, you want to guess how many people probably reviewed this press release before it went out? Probably 50 people. Like, it's not like Miss Vestager doesn't know that they're planning to apply these rules to 7,000 companies. Like, this has been in the works, I guarantee, for months. It's been reviewed ad infinitum, and no one ever decided to raise their hand and say, should we not have this apply to the very small startups? No, that didn't come through. So I give up between GDPR and all the stuff. I mean, for a startup to have to comply with GDPR, I mean, what are you trying to do? It's death by 1,000 cuts. Let me try and actually build a business, and then let me worry about all these other things.
As we covered on the show around GDPR, the practical impact of that was, yes, there was some privacy regulations, but basically you consolidated Google and Facebook's market share because they were able to bear the cost of complying, and a lot of small startups wouldn't, and some just went out of business.
Yeah, and Marriott and British Airways got fined for like $100 million each, right?
Which is really what we needed. Was Marriott and British Airways were being too aggressive on their data collection.
Right, techniques. Yeah, GDPR was drafted with Marriott and British Airways in mind. Oh, man, these companies are so bad. They just abuse their customer data so aggressively. We need to draft up a whole law regulating privacy in Europe. So every single person needs to click on a really annoying pop-up on every single website that they go to. And then we're only going to give more market power to Google and Facebook. And then we're going to find Marriott and British Airways, and let's go do this. This sounds like a great idea. That's the EU regulatory mindset for you. So we'll see what happens with this, but guarantee it's not going to be good news if you're a up-and-coming tech startup in Europe. Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.